Mayor Bill de Blasio for not pulling back his police, pulling off his police like the Minnesota or Minneapolis government decided to do. Yes, it's the police's fault, it's the mayor's fault, because they should have just let you ransack businesses and destroy all of the property, which then the taxpayer has to pay for, and people without insurance who need to put food on the table for their children should suffer because you feel like going on the street and rioting like petulant children, hurting your own cause. These people are extremists, and we've said it since day one, and there's a reason why I support the president and his call to label them as a terrorist organization, because this is an act of terror. It's one thing to have a sign, it's one thing to even yell or get really animated. It's another thing to lob explosives at average police officers trying to do their jobs.
McLaren?
You are not a protester. You are a criminal, and you deserve to be treated as such.
That's one of the best charges right there. Generic,
and this is poetic
goodish,
justice, poetic karma. Check out this article right here. 2 attorneys and a ukulele-playing street musician are indicted and face life in prison for throwing
and yeah, this is what I'll be doing the next couple nights, getting the bike up and running
the lives of
in the street tent so I don't get eaten.
A grand jury in New York has indicted Samantha Shader, 27, and attorneys Colin Ford Mattis, 32, and Uruj Rahman, 31, with arson and use of explosives. The 7-count indictment says the 3 allegedly threw Molotov cocktails at NYPD vehicles during peaceful George Floyd protests on May 29, 2020. They wrote 2019, but clearly that's 2020. The suspects are accused of carrying out nighttime attacks, which were caught on video footage now in the hands of authorities. And I mean, these have to be the world's dumbest criminals.
Exhaust,
she went on camera, barely hid her face, and your nose structure is
like
usually, not usually, pretty much always distinct to you and your features. She was barely able to keep it up above her nose and kept showing her entire facial profile. It's very easy to then identify her, and there's actually software that removed the mask and identified her next to a picture, and everything lines up. Not to mention, she was wearing the exact same scarf and the same clothes when captured in the car with the Molotov. Like I said, genius criminals. And the worst part about it is those 2 over there are attorneys.
So mad at
they
Harley.
study
They
the
would
law.
not warrant
they should understand that attacking a police officer.
They said, well, as long as it's not near the valve stems.
Jail sentence or indictment.
Look at him.
NYPD Commissioner Dermot F. Shea, who was among authorities announcing the indictments Friday, said the alleged violence endangered
This was the first year they did it.
The alleged destructive acts also pose danger to the constitutional rights of people to peacefully protest. I can't show you guys this video, but there's literal video evidence of them on the streets here, like you can see in the article, lighting and lobbing the Molotovs directly.
They told me I shouldn't have rode it in the weather.
Dermot F. Shea spoke about the accusation made against Shader, Mattis, and Rahman, and said violence like
I don't know where this video's going.
Endangers our NYPD
it's just
officers, but threatens the constitutional right of peaceful protesters. These indictments by our federal partners reflect
I'm actually testing the SD card. I think there's something wrong with it. I'm hoping there's not. I think there is.
He also said such criminal acts should never be confused with legitimate protests. Those who carry out attacks on NYPD officers or vehicles are not protesters. They are criminals, and they will be treated as such. Couldn't have said it better myself. And actually,
the first year they made them, though.
Same thing that I
they
said
painted them,
so you know
and
what?
then etched them.
Bravo to you, NYPD.
They etched them, laser etched the name
in. Who hijack
Harley Davidson
protests and endanger the lives of peaceful protesters engaging in their First Amendment rights, and endanger the lives of NYPD officers who are just there to make sure everyone's safe and make sure things don't get out of hand. That's why the police are there. So often nowadays, lefties on Twitter make it seem as if the police just comes in and stifles their constitutional
These are going next to it. There's no use keeping them on there anymore either.
Until things get out of hand, and then it's their job to intervene.
I got a link in the sissy bar.
People who ruin it for everybody
has ideas on what I should do, except nobody wants to listen to my ideas.
Of the protests, and then
y'all want to go
dorks like this who come
double it up and do this and that. I just want to cut it and add a piece. That's all. Cut it
becomes the focus
and add a piece.
Who deserve the spotlight. And if you
I'll get all crazy adding 2 pieces and wrapping around here and everything else. Just cut it and add a piece.
Ideology that's way too
for putting a backpack on there.
Antifa achieving political means.
See you later. Ta-ta for now.